Hey YouTube, back for part 2 of the Toolbox tour. Let's start on the wall and then we'll move over to the top box and do that. This box is right about 10-year-old, 41 I believe inch is what it's sold as, 41-inch Craftsman box. Got some stickers on there from Jeep stuff and gun stuff and LA 31 Brewing. That's my favorite Louisiana brewery. So over here on this wall, I've got a Wiha torx set. This set is sort of blended. These were purchased individually. This is 6, 7, and 8. And then this is the micro finish. Basically, these have the same profile. This is smooth. This is grippy. This feels like kind of like rawhide. But it's a nice complete set in torx. What used to be there is this Bonda set. And they're just not super good. I'll do a review of those, but they aren't very good. Now this is the Bonda Allen set and metric and standard. Now they are good. These are really good. I don't know if it's something with the chrome or what, but these work great. I'm happy with those. I don't care for the writing because when you get brake cleaner on them, the writing comes off. Top of the box, some tool catalogs and a eBay Proto 1 5/16". The reason I got that 1 5/16 is because it I go up to, that's not an 1 5/16, that's an 1 3/8. The reason I have an 1 3/8 up here is because the biggest tools I had so far were up to 1 5/16. So there you go. Craftsman USA raised panel set. This is a Craftsman, just crap that I'm gonna probably sell on eBay. Spine drive. I bought this before I even noticed that Craftsman was made in China or wherever this is made. I just walked in and saw something new and bought it and trusted it because it said Craftsman on it. And then when it rusted, just like that same day, I knew that it's time for a new toolbox. I knew that it was it's time to stop buying Craftsman. Over here, this is an AC Delco Taiwan set. I got this set from my dad. It was a hand-me-down set. When he decided he was too old to turn wrenches himself, he basically gave me his tools, and the majority of his tools was a big set from, I can't remember, maybe it was Ace or I don't remember, whoever carried AC Delco tools at the time. All made in Taiwan. Good tools for Taiwan tools at the time, but have proven inadequate over time. Here in the second drawer, this is what those Craftsman wrenches will be replaced with. And this is Wright tools, Wright grip, made in the USA, beautiful chrome. I mean, just beautiful chrome. Nice and fat across here. The snap-on wrenches are not anywhere near as fat across here. So when you pull on a snap-on wrench with your hand, it kind of feels like you're pulling on the back of a butter knife, where this, you know, I mean, this doesn't hurt. The snap-ons can hurt. Beautiful set, and the chrome is so nice. The chrome, they clean up like that every single time. Just for example, this is 10 millimeter. And you can, I mean, I have to work to show you. I mean, 99% of what you see there is just fingerprints. It'll wipe off just as shiny and new as like a, I don't know, like a 65 Cadillac bumper. Just pretty. The little gear wrench, 10 millimeter. I actually found that on the trail rock crawling, and yay, free wrench. It had been there for a while. It was rusted. Cleaned it up a little bit. Next drawer. This drawer is heavily and aggressively getting modified. This drawer used to contain just these cobalt hex drives and this Craftsman tamper-proof set. I broke this one on a transmission job. Can't get the damn thing there. Broke this one on a transmission job and just put a new bit in it. I didn't bother taking it back to Sears because I didn't want a bad bit. So I got a Wiha bit and put a Wiha bit in there. I don't know that this set will stay. I don't know what I'm going to do there. More Wiha bits over here. This is a pretty cool little thing. This is a you can use it as a screwdriver for your bits, and in it we've got a nice Torx Plus set of bits. Torx Plus is on a few of the guns that I own. They use Torx Plus screws on them, so that'll be there in case needed. And these are a few individual Torx Plus bits to make for a more complete set. IP6 and I think IP7 is down here. IP5. So I've got a complete set from 5 all the way up to I believe 45 in this Wiha set. Nice bits. Next to it, another new tool for me. The Wiha Torx Plus Allen keys. What I don't like about this set is notice the difference in coating on the lower keys and the bigger key. I don't know why the IP20 had to be a different color, but oh well, that's what Wiha did. This thing from Cobalt came with, I'm pretty sure it came with this set, and you put your key in there, and then it doesn't hurt your hand to turn it, or you don't have to get a pair of vice grips and clamp it on your key and scratch them up. This works well. I like it. It'll stay. Down here we've got this is Power Torque Impact Hex. So let me back up a second. The reason I've got newer, cooler tools is because this AC Delco set my old man gave me, nice as it was, wasn't complete. Certainly wasn't complete enough for the jobs I'm doing. So I've had to struggle over the years on some things. You know, you start a job and you end up making do. And while you're making do, you're just struggling and working hard, but you're saving money because you're doing the job yourself. Great. Well, this set is this little Power Torque set's an example. For whatever reason, I needed a 3/4 inch hex key. Okay. So my solution is I took a 1 inch piece of rebar and a grinder, and I made a 3/4 inch hex key. It was not a good 3/4 inch hex key, but it did the job. It loosened the fastener enough, and it was something I didn't need that fastener again. Excuse me. I didn't need to get it off. I didn't need to keep it. So, I mean, I literally built a tool to do the job. And then I go in O'Reilly Auto Parts to get some oil or whatever, and boom, there it is on the wall, the 3/4 inch hex. So it took me like an hour and a half to get one bolt out. If I had used this Power Torque set, the bolt would have come right out. That'd been no big deal. These have been good. I have used a few of these, but mainly this 1/4 inch. It gets used kind of a lot. They hold the fasteners well, they hold up well, the corners stay sharp. And if you sign up for the O'Reilly Points program, depending on if you change your own oil or whatever, 5-6 times a year, maybe even more than that, depending on what you spend, you'll get like a $10 coupon in the mail. And this set with a $10 coupon was a few bucks, like $5 or less. And the same thing for the metric set. It was just a few bucks. So I've been happy with the Power Torque tools. They're not made in USA or whatever, but they've been good so far. So I recommend them based on what I've seen. This is, what is it, Wiha? Yeah, this is another Wiha. This is tamper-proof Torx. This is the set, plus I need to add a couple more, but this is the set that will replace this. This set sat up here for a year before I needed them, 2 years before I needed them. The very first bit I use is a T25 and I break it. So that was frustrating. So I got better stuff. And down here is just some more individual bits, various Torx bits, and a Torx set. And then these Torx fasteners, this is all Wiha. You can, with an out, you know, you can get an Allen head and you can unscrew that, pull the bit out and change the bit. I decided instead of buying more of these, this was not a cheap set. Instead of buying more of these, between all these different fasteners, all these different sockets rather, and all these different bits, I could just use the sockets and interchange the bits, and I feel like that's good enough for me. It's not super efficient. If I was a mechanic working on cars every day and using a lot of Torx, I don't believe I'd do it that way, but this is convenient enough and cost effective for me. You might be thinking, well, why not just buy like one big bit set, like from Gear Wrench or whatever? Well, if you show me a complete set, I'll kiss you live on YouTube, because it doesn't exist. What made me inspect that is that, see that IP9 right there, Torx Plus 9, that right there, and then T9, which is somewhere in one of these little, let's see here if I can show you this. There you go. Yeah, you want to see this. This is cool. Somewhere, that T9 right there, that and the IP9 is what made me look into this. T9 is real. T9 exists. It is used. It is a fastener size. It can be found in various places. And so many sets don't have a T9. And if you really look at those bits there, if I took all that and put it into a set, relative to some of the prices of these blow molded sets of bits, that's like a $600 set. You know, it's all German made, it's all super nice, good bits, good sockets, good warranty. And it's got all the sizes. So that's a super advantage over everything else on the market. And this here, these are some empty Hansen USA trays. These will eventually be 1/4-inch impacts. I know a lot of, like a diesel tech wouldn't have much need for a 1/4-inch impact, but when you're working on a lawnmower, 1/4-inch is pretty handy. These are just Harbor Freight swivel impacts. I don't use these very much. In fact, I've only used 3 of them, as you see. The SAE said I haven't used a single one. And again, the reason for having this is not because it gets used every day. The reason for having this is so that when a job comes up where I need a 7/8 swivel impact, I can walk to the toolbox, grab a 7/8 swivel impact, and do the job. I don't have to get a piece of 1-inch rebar and a grinder and build a wrench. And that's where I'm trying to be. Craftsman USA swivel, and these are Harbor Freight impacts and impact wobble extensions. And some shorter ones there. Next drawer, guys. SAE 1/2-inch drive, Craftsman USA impacts, and I've added a few to really just to finish the trays. Like this is a Proto 1.1/8, and these are super awesome. The weight of this thing is so substantial. I mean, this is way heavier than it needs to be for anything I'll probably ever do with it. But Proto, and then down here is the Craftsman USA stuff. I don't have any complaints about this Craftsman USA stuff. It has done everything I've asked it to. There's the 3/4. That 3/4-inch drive right there is probably, of all the sockets I own, this is probably the most used socket. And the reason for that is because it is the socket that I use to fit the spline drive adapter for the spline sockets on my Jeep. My Jeep, total brain fart. You know, lug nuts. Thank you. More coffee, please. I use that to turn the spline drive on my lug nuts there. Been a good set. This is all Craftsman USA, 1/2 inch, 6-point. And then down here, this is that Taiwan set. Let's see, which one would be a good one to look at? Probably 3/4. So this set, again, you can see some wear in there, but I mean, this is probably a 20-year-old set, and this is 3/4, so this is one that gets used a lot. And it's held up. I mean, like I say, 20 years old, nothing to gripe about. Over here, this is a Craftsman big set. Goes all the way 1.5 inches. And then this out here is 1 5/16" from Tractor Supply. It's another example tool of struggling. I needed this socket to take some bolts off of a bush hog deck, and I didn't have the socket. So I ended up with like a pipe wrench doing the job. So I got one bolt off, went to town, found the cheapest socket I could to do the job, and then came back and got the job done. And it held up for the one job. I mean, but this is a bad cheap socket because it has turned like 6 bolts ever. And it just, I mean, the chrome's disappearing. I mean, it's like chrome spray painted on. Total crap. I mean, this is literally unscrewed 3 bolts and screwed 4 bolts on. Ever. Compare that with, where is it at? This 3/4 here that, I mean, I don't know how many, you know, bolts this has turned. And it looks great. So, anyhow, my goal is to not have to drive to town to buy that, but to rather come to the toolbox, open it up, and grab that if I need it. So, anyhow, that's what the new tools purchase is about. Harbor Freight S-shaped wrenches. I haven't actually used these yet. The reason I bought these was one night, for about a minute there, once upon a time in the recent past, I owned a 50% of a garbage company. Middle of the night, I found myself under a trash truck with like chicken blood and baby diaper juice dripping in my ear while I struggled to take the top bolt off of a cracked PTO to take it to the hydraulic repair place for them to fix it for us to be able to put our trash truck on the road the next morning so that we didn't get too much hate mail over us not picking up folks' trash. Well, we ended up having to like take a torch and a welder and make a wrench. And this is obviously not as big as it would have needed to be. I believe we were working with, I think it was 1 1/8" bolts on that PTO. But this set, that traumatic experience, when I saw this set, I said, yeah, I'm gonna buy that. Craftsman Taiwan flare nut. These are good. And that's the problem with this Craftsman offshore business. I hope Stanley can fix it. Is some of their stuff's pretty good and some of it's total crap. And then there's a remnant of various AC Delco Taiwans and a few just random wrenches I've collected over the years. There you go. There's a Husky. I believe that's a Husky USA. So that's old. And that's a, what do we got there? Made in the USA. What is that? That's a no-name brand made in the USA? That's a no-name brand made in the USA. There you go. So, Go figure there. Next drawer. Ratchets. This drawer has changed substantially. 1/4 inch drive. There's an easy red, the little flippy thing here. Little flippy thing here. Again, this is new. So this thing's nice for getting in a tight spot. I actually haven't used it yet, but I can just tell you, this is not what you want to be your everyday 1/4 inch drive ratchet. You will break this. You need something more substantial. Something more substantial like that right there. I got this ratchet on eBay for like $89. Go me. You know, snap-on swivel head. This is, if you're gonna buy one 1/4 inch ratchet, buy that. If you're gonna buy one ever, that's a $100 ratchet off the truck. You can get them cheaper than that on eBay. But if you want to buy one 1/4 inch ratchet, that's it. And then a little Matco 88 1/4 inch. This little doodad is kind of cool. I've used it just a couple of times. This is a snap-on magnetic tip. So you put this in the socket, and the tip really protrudes through magnet strong, as you can see, a good bit, and it holds kind of the fastener up at the very top of the socket and allows it to stay on when you're trying to get it into a spot. Works pretty fair and helps out a bunch. These are SK ran a Father's Day sale. These are SK tools. Took advantage of that Father's Day sale. The SK is not the best. It's pretty good. I like it. I'm glad to own it. It's Craftsman USA, but it is not the best. More Craftsman, SK. Craftsman, I think this stuff's USA. Yeah, there you go, USA. Craftsman USA. All the 3/8 drive stuff. And this is that Taiwan set. And you can see she's just tired. She's just worn out. She's given her all she had. 20 years of hard labor. I bought this Pittsburgh ratchet here that I have never used. The same day, and from the same traumatic event that led to these S-shaped wrenches. Chicken blood and baby diaper juice dripping into my ear and my beer while I fixed a PTO at like 1 o'clock in the morning. That's another one of those O'Reilly Auto Parts freebies because of their points program. Just a 3/8 swivel. And then over here, another O'Reilly Auto Parts freebie. This is hard to focus on, is what this is. There we go. This is the power torque. You can see the little grooves in the broach. This is kind of like the Mac precision torque. What? Kind of like the Mac precision torque. I don't know what it takes to make this thing focus. Oh, my hand's not in the way over there, you idiot. Yeah, so this is like Mac precision torque. It's made in Taiwan, just like Mac precision torque. But this is the power torque, not to be confused with precision torque. O'Reilly Auto Parts brand. Is there anything hiding back there? No, there's nothing hiding back there. So, anyhow, YouTube, those are the tools on the top box. Like I say, if you do show some interest in the channel and you'd like to subscribe and watch me, screw up, I'd sure appreciate it. I am a homeowner who does everything himself, and or as much as I possibly can myself, and have some fun doing it and save a bunch of money doing it. I don't do everything well. I'm, a jack of all trades, master of none. And I just one day decided, you know what? I'm tired of struggling with these old tools and crescent wrenches and you know, baling wire. I've saved enough money over the years doing stuff myself that I want to get some good tools. And I started buying them. Well, in that journey, I thought, you know, maybe other homeowners and other guys would like to see this stuff that I've researched and reviewed and bought, and either I find I like it or I don't. An example of don't is, you know, these Bondus torx screwdrivers. But as I improve my tools, maybe folks would want to see what I had, and maybe they want to see some of the stuff I've done and will do. So that's what led to this. And as far as the tools go and the cost of the tools and how I justify that, well, one example, I put a water softener on my house. My house wasn't pre-plumbed for a water softener, so I put the water softener outside. I cut into the line coming into the house, teed off of it, poured a slab, plumbed in the water softener, ran the electrical, and, you know, came back from the water softener back to the house line. The quote, the best quote I got on that water softener job was $5 grand, and it didn't include the water softener or the house around the water softener or the slab or anything. It was just the plumbing. And the plumber who gave me that quote told me that he knew a guy who could get all the rest of it done. He said I'd be looking at around $8 grand, including the softener. I got that whole job done for like 1,700 bucks. Softener, paint, shingles, little house, everything. I'll take a picture of it and include it in this video whenever I put the video up right about now. That's what I did. So $8 grand for that I did for 1,600 bucks. So that's $6 grand, easy $6 grand saved. I'm not gonna buy $6 grand worth of new tools probably. And that's one job. I've done 20 jobs like that. You know, just in the last 3 years, between, you know, building my own outdoor kitchen and fencing and whatnot. I mean, who knows how much money I've saved over the years. So I don't want to have to come find a piece of rusty rebar, you know, laid up next to a fence line and, you know, get a grinder and make a tool. I want to be able to come over here and grab that 3/4 right there and go and turn whatever fastener I have to turn. I want to go, and when I want to blow off the leaves, I want to go right there and grab that Milwaukee and plug a battery into it and go blow off some leaves. I don't want to struggle. Let me take a moment right now and back up and show you kind of what's next. So the bottom of the box, this Craftsman professional cabinet, and what do we have over here? Well, there's a Lincoln welder. I don't know that I need to say anything more than there's a Lincoln welder. There's a buggy for you. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, ask some questions. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. Thanks, YouTube.